You're not lazy, you're not disobedient. You're still showing up, still praying, still guarding your heart. You've given it your all. But still, you haven't seen God do something. Instead, the things you believed would come fell apart. The people you thought would stay walked away. And now you find yourself asking, what did I do wrong? But the Father asks you something else. What if this isn't falling apart? What if it's preparation? Because sometimes, before there is rebirth, there must be unraveling. Before He builds, He dismantles. Before He brings you into the new season, He quietly removes the things that no longer have room for what's greater. Today, I want to walk with you through 7 powerful signs that God is preparing you, silently but not passively, for something bigger, something more aligned with your soul, something deeper than anything you've ever dared to pray for. 1. The familiar things are being taken away. The people who once felt like your safe place have gone silent. The places that once brought you peace now echo with emptiness. The plans you thought were God's will have suddenly stopped midway. You might think, I've been abandoned. But the Father says, that's not it. You're being pulled out, every branch that does bear fruity prunes, so that it will be even more fruitful. John 15:2. Pruning is not for dead trees. Pruning is the reward of a living one. And the pain of pruning is not punishment, it's the evidence that more fruit is coming. God doesn't take things away because He's cruel. He takes them because you're clinging to what's quietly holding you back. He doesn't want you to just live a good life. He wants you to live the life you were born for. 2. You've lost interest in things that used to excite you. The music that once pulled you in now feels distant. The plans you once sketched with passion no longer move your heart. The meetups that once gave you butterflies now just make you tired, not because you're bored with life, but because your soul is growing. You're hungry, but not for the old things. You're hungry for something eternal, not something that satisfies for a moment, but something that transforms. And God, He's doing that work, not loudly, not with lightning, but through a season of spiritual detox. He's drying out the old to pour in something new, something deeper, something real. It's not that you've lost feeling. It's that God is rewiring your spiritual nervous system, no longer living for the high, but living from the source. 3. You feel hidden and forgotten. No one mentions your name in the meeting. No one asks what you need. No one sees the tears. You cry behind a closed door as you bow your head in quiet prayer. You do good, but no one claps. You sacrifice, but all you hear is silence. And you start to wonder, am I not important enough? But hear this clearly, silence is not abandonment. Hiddenness is not failure. Moses spent 40 years in the wilderness. No one knew his name, only sheep, sand, and the whisper of the wind. But it was in that place that God called him from a burning bush. David was left out in the field. When the prophet Samuel came to choose a king, no one remembered the youngest, but the forgotten one was the one anointed. Hiddenness is not delay. It is God's private classroom, where He sharpens calling, deepens dependence, and teaches you how to walk without needing a spotlight. Because the ones being prepared for the throne are always trained in the dark. 4. Your prayers are quieter, but your hunger runs deeper. You no longer have fiery prayer hours like before, no more floods of tears, no more strong sense of presence like the early days. But you still pray, even if all you whisper is, Lord, I'm still here. The sky stays silent, your heart feels dry, and you begin to wonder, is my faith fading? But the Father says, no, your quiet is the signal of a deeper season. A mature tree doesn't need sunlight all the time. It pushes its roots down, even when no one sees. Deep calls to deep. Psalm 42:7. Sometimes, silence is an invitation into the deepest places, where emotion is no longer the evidence, but simple longing becomes the sign that your faith is growing. A small flame, but still burning. Slow, gentle, not loud, but steady. Because spiritual maturity isn't always fire. Sometimes, it's keeping the lamp burning in the middle of the night. 5. You're suddenly pulled out of your comfort zone. You're pushed into hard conversations, invited to places you didn't want to go, forced to apologize. Even though you were the one who got hurt, you're called to let go of something you've clung to for far too long. Everything in you wants to retreat, but something stronger within whispers, just take the step. You can't see what's ahead. No guarantees, just a fragile trust that God knows what He's doing, and He does. God doesn't train warriors in safe places. He trains them in battlefields, in unclear situations, in the steps where you must trust, not see. Because only when you step out of the boat can you discover that He made you walk on water. 6. You let go of something good without knowing what's next. You didn't let go because it was wrong. You didn't quit because you failed. You let go because deep down you heard a gentle whisper. Leave it behind. You walked away from a relationship that once made you feel seen. You gave up a job that once made you proud. You laid down a dream that others called noble. But the hardest part was that nothing happened after. No miracle, no heavenly reward, no confirmation from the sky, just silence. Abraham went out, not knowing where he was going. Hebrews 11:8. He had no map, no sign saying, God at work, just a call and trust. This is where many walk away. No feelings to hold them, no logic to carry them forward. But if you stay faithful, if you keep walking, even with tear-blurred eyes, then hear this, it's not weakness. It's real faith, refined in the fire. Because God didn't call you to cling to the good, He called you to receive what is eternal. 7. You start to think, maybe this pain has purpose. You still don't have the answers. You still have nights that feel empty. But there's a whisper deep inside that says, maybe this isn't the end. Maybe God is doing something I can't yet see. And that voice, it's not your imagination. It's the anointing awakening within you. If you see yourself in 2 or 3 of these signs, don't panic, don't run away. Just know this, you are not abandoned. You are being prepared.